podcast. Y'all already know who it is. I'm your motherfucking host, BigTruDat. This is a classic. Try to play. And an uppercut. Better keep it fast. Yellowstone shine bright as the sun. Cali weather got me tired of my friends ever time. Government money cause lies. Niggas just look in my eyes. Right to the rubber, I'm tired. I got them youngers that trigger happy. Dirty legal backpack and cactus. I did this shit on my own. Trust stocking on my lawn. Now I'm free, a bitch wanna cheat. Hit that like button. Now free, a bitch wanna cheat. She thought I wasn't coming home. About mine, that's a must. Things smelling like must. No challenge, just bust. Big treat. I'm on my pallet, I know the man. Yeah, we fuck all the time, but no better half. No love, I don't like the calves. Stone tipping like I took a bath. Skinny dipping with a mouth. Go watch. Top of the morning. All of the hate made me roll harder. I've been balling forever, a globetrotter. I had to get out my city. Fuck who trying to run the city. Man, free my nigga B Lux, man. 12 so penitentiary. Bank account. I want the whole enchilada. Switch on the pizza Movada. You bitches go hard for the brand. Nigga gonna die about the logo. Fucking with truth is a no-no. So I got niggas. Facts. Tap the few freaks of the. When it come to niggas, I don't have a circle. I ain't no sipping the drink. I don't smoking purple. Love my little monster. Remember that, man. Them same niggas hate. They gon' forever hate. They gon' forever hate, man. Once a hater, always a hater. What's going on though, y'all? Top of the motherfucking morning. You know, I'm gonna kick it off. Um, Kick it off this morning. You know, let me see. Let me see. We had a couple things in the thumbnail. We had second day of Michael Jordan. The Michael Jordan. We can say the outlash. The backlash. I mean, snooze. What's going on? It's been a minute. Happy New Year. But yeah, we got the Michael Jordan backlash that's going on. His father came on and spoke, and they, it was a NASCAR celebration for one. Hope everything been well with you, love. And it was supposed to have been some ice that fell in the young man's back, and Jordan was just helping him get the ice out. It was supposed to have been nothing of ill will or bad intentions of none of that nature. So that's the backstory. So I mean, you could take it for what it's worth. You could look at it and say, hey, it didn't seem like that. Maybe they was protecting the brand. We don't know, but just to the naked eye, watching it, it didn't look. It didn't look. You know what I'm saying? Good. But sometimes everything is great. How are you, man? I can't complain. I can't complain at all. Everything. Sometimes the camera don't always, give the real illustration. So hopefully, MJ wasn't um doing anything crazy. I fucked around and stepped on my dog this morning, y'all. I stepped on my dog this morning. I feel like if I would have been close to him, he would have bit the shit out of me. I mean, like, If he could have bit the shit out of me, he would have tried to. I seen him. That motherfucker got a little agitated though. Top of the morning, Miss Muffin. So we outside. We doing our normal little walk. So I see another person with their dog. I see a lady with her dog. She got a little like one of them hot dogs. So here I go with my cocky ass. I'm feeling like I got Rocky under full control. You know, I dropped the leash and I'm finna do my normal training. But Rocky fixated on the dog though. But I'm like, Rocky, I'm trying to get his attention. And as I was about to walk off, but I'm still trying to get Rocky's attention, but he V-lined the dog and he was about to take off. So the only thing I could do was stomp down. And you know, these motherfucking feet long. It's a size 16. So instead of me stomping down on the goddamn leash, I stomped down on his front paw and his back paw. And he went to holler. "Arr!" You know, he made them dog noises then. I didn't get the front paws that good, but I got the back paw. But I end up, you know, getting him a little power rub this morning, and he walked it off for a little bit though. It's not broke, it's not fractured or anything. You know, it just I stepped on it. You know, these big ass feet. But in my regard, and to my credit, he should have set his ass down. I told him to sit. I told him to stay. We work on it every day. He seen the other dog, got excited, and you know, it's one of those things that happens. You know, he got disciplined without me having to really discipline him. If I say sit and stay, don't take off, god damn it. You force me to have to, you know, try to grab your leash. You know, things happen in war. You know, shit. So, but Rocky, all right, dog. I just want to let y'all know that he did got his ass stepped on this morning playing, but Rocky tough, Rocky built for the shit. But we finna get into this content, man. Little Poppa. I'm sorry. I said Little Poppa. How many of y'all was familiar with Little Poppa? Let me ask that. If any of y'all was familiar with Little Poppa, let me know. He was signed to CMG out of Jacksonville, Florida. Signed to CMG out of Jacksonville, Florida. And apparently you know, his life was cut short, either by his own admission or I'm hearing some bloggers saying it might have been a faulty pill, a bad pill. But what I want to bring, you know, I seen some shit on the internet though. So hold on. Trying to work this damn switch. Still learning little just certain little shit on the switch. Ah, bro, really? They done had her on the 20 versus 1 and everything, huh? Damn. The fuck I go home? This shit a little different on the Switch, y'all. Get back up out of here. 1 second, 1 second. I'm trying to figure this shit out. But I seen the video though, and it was supposed to be um his last live. Top of the morning, y'all make sure y'all come in hitting that like button. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And y'all just check out his last live though. He listened to some Future. Might not ain't barely see that. I'm gonna have to hold it up. Wasn't familiar. I wasn't familiar with his music either though. So basically, it's gonna be a little part where he gonna be walking through the house and he gonna be going to different people's rooms saying, "Are they faking sleep? They faking sleep." So it's gonna be four rooms that he gonna walk in, I think. And out of the four rooms that he walk in, he gonna say two out of the four faking sleep. And he gonna bring up the back door situation. So you get to reading the comments, and the comments saying, "Oh, he didn't trust somebody. He knew something was gonna happen." So, like I said, some people are saying that it was allegedly everything I'm saying is alleged and for entertainment purposes. But some people saying that it may have been a fake pill, and then some people saying he overdosed. You know, really don't know. I'm pretty sure uh, with time, more shit gonna come out, and then it's gonna be more scenarios, more information, and things of that nature. But I had when I heard of this situation, and then I went and watched his live, and maybe just a couple more things about him. It seemed like he was battling depression. You know, you often hear, man, mental health is real. Mental health real. So in that sense, it seemed like he was, leaving a lot of signs that he was going through some shit. That's why I remember last year, everybody might have had their moments, but I remember last year, like even 2024, I used to appreciate when people used to just hit a nigga up on the wall and just check on you, make sure you're doing all right, because 2024 was, like, I often say, was a rough year. It was a challenging year. It was a setback year. It was a year where a nigga could have, went either way with things, as far as staying positive or completely going vigilante. And I appreciate a lot of the comments, the check-ons. And, hey, true that, what's up? What you got going? And did this and that. So I said that to say sometimes, man, you got to just check on your people. Check on your people, man. Just a quick call, a quick text. You never know how far it could go, because often, sometimes, especially in this world, man, people get to feeling like, which in a sense you are, but you people get to feel like, man, I'm dealing with all this shit just by myself, nobody to talk to, no one to turn to, and when it get like that, it get murky. You know what I'm saying? Like, it do get murky. So I said that once again, man, check on your people. It don't take much just to send a text, um, just communicate. Make sure motherfucker doing all right. Especially if sometimes people be battling with certain issues, man. People be battling with certain issues. Let me see what this was. You hear him walking through the house, he don't trust shit. He said niggas sleep funny. And just don't understand. Oh, what it do, what it do, man. Man, I'm just getting into little content before I hit these streets, man. We talking about little Poppa's dead at 25. You hearing different things. Some saying it was I feel like this. I feel like this. For one, you know what I'm saying? Addiction is addiction, right? But then a person's drug of choice be their drug of choice, right? Too much of anything can be a bad thing. Guy that hadn't said, you know, shit, he gotta say something, immediately though. I'm just asking. I ain't even gonna throw to Asian and cause a conspiracy or everybody can be can share the blame. It's more so on the person who doing it. But then if he being so fake shit, that person got to bear the responsibility as well. And then let's say if I'm around a person who I know, like you see this shit taking control of them or got a hold on them, it's. I feel like being that person that's around, you supposed to at least try. A lot of people don't try because they don't want to be cut off or, man, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that. Not much. His sickle cell was getting the best of him. I believe he was just tired of fighting. Mm. Hey, you know what? I seen another story where you brought up sickle cell, right? Damn. It was something else where we was watching. We was talking about some content where somebody else had sickle cell. Oh, so check this out. Hold on, this is off topic. This is off topic, but you just made me think of something, right? Man, I'm watching the Temptations for like the 1,000th time, right? So I got a question for y'all. Fuck it. I got a question. Who do y'all think the most famous or successful Temptation was? Who was the most successful Temptation? Do y'all know? I'm finna start some bullshit talk real quick though. Riddle me that. Who was the most famous Temptation or more successful Temptation? Let's talk about that real quick. And I'm watching the Temptation the whole time. The only thing I could think about last night while I was watching the Temptation, man, that goddamn Otis Williams, a motherfucker. Man, like you just think about the whole movie is from Otis Williams' point of view. Barry Gordy, Smokey, Blue. Man, he made goddamn Ruffin look bad. Then when Paul wanted shit, Paul Williams, he made Paul look like, I'm talking about when Paul did "This Is Mine." Nah, not that joint. When he went in there and sung, he thought he finna be back on tour. But you seen Paul hit the liquor and then chew the gum. How you know Paul was doing it? You wasn't in the car with Paul. How you know Paul hit the liquor, then chewed some gum to cover up he was just still a drunk, and then went in there and sung his lights out? How you know that happened? How you know David Ruffin was in his room snorting and shit like that? I ain't say you could tell David Ruffin was going on stage doing this type of shit, doing this and that. Now you could tell he was he just taking the mic from motherfuckers and shit. Alright. But I'm saying Otis Williams, what made me think about what you said sickle cell, right? I say that Paul really had sickle cell, but they made it seem like in the movie he was just a drunk. You see what I'm saying? And then it highlighted his drinking. But in actuality, Paul had sickle cell. So that's why he said, I'm gonna die. You know, like I feel like Otis should have let that man come on tour. If not sing, let him come on tour, man. But yeah, I don't know why, but you put sickle cell up there and the man died. He had sickle cell. like real bad. So it wasn't that he was just a drinker. The man had sickle cell. So now I'm starting to question the whole goddamn Temptation movie. Ain't no way in hell everybody point of view. He making them over to the best of his ability. Then he come back around. David Ruffin tell him at the end, uh, you should have stayed hard on us. Like his mama said, you was always the glue. Damn, I can't see the comments, y'all. Man, I don't know what's going on. David died at the hospital. He didn't get thrown out of limo. You see what I'm saying? Sickle cell is a hell of a disease. You see what I'm saying? My favorite movie. Here go the comments. They just coming in, y'all. His last post face was really, really puffy. My favorite movie, Dave Ruff. No, it actually was Eddie Kendrick. Eddie Kendrick. David Ruffin might have been the most. Eddie Kendrick was the most successful person outside of. He had several. David Ruffin only had two chart-topping songs. He had the biggest personality, but more famous and more successful was Eddie Kendricks. Cause New Paul and Ruffin were his brothers, movie make things extra. Eddie had them hold. Eddie was a motherfucker. All about you, baby, baby, you're my everything. Fuck you talking about? David died at the hospital. He made cornbread look bad. Yeah, he made cornbread look bad. You see what I'm saying? He made cornbread look bad. He made David look bad. He made he made Paul look bad. And then he worked the shit out of Blue. I found out. I looked up some shit about Blue, and it said Blue came back too early, which it showed that in the movie. But it said that Otis was kind of, telling Blue, come on, let's get back to work, man. He didn't never tell Blue situation. Now in the movie, it showed that Otis told Blue to sit down. But I don't know, man. Otis just he made he made himself look bad as like a womanizer. Some shit like that. Yeah, he was a womanizer, but when it came to the group, he made himself seem like he was that one. Only way he made himself seem bad is he kept on going on tour without Paul. When Paul asked him was he ready, he didn't know what to tell Paul. He cheated on his wife and the Paul situation. Other than that, no. In my opinion, no. Shit. Blue wanted to hit that stage. Yeah, Blue probably wanted to hit that stage though. Blue probably wanted to hit that stage though. But it says that Eddie Kendrick was the what I'm saying, the most renowned one. He was the most successful one, and all of it. But why would you put David Ruffin get thrown out of a limousine? How do you know David Ruffin? Okay, check this out now. Look how he put Dave. We started building David Ruffin. They all got their checks for $12,500. They all pulled up in brand new Cadillacs. So you mean tell me Dave Ruffin bought a fucking Rolls Royce and a penthouse off 12,500? So you mean to tell me David Ruffin was supposed to accept his woman jumping up into a man with her legs behind her in the air? Go get that bitch. Go get that bitch. You know, y'all is mama boys. And then what Paul turn around and do? How you know Paul snatched her up before he went and did what he did? He kissed the kids goodbye. How you know he went by Hitsville and said Temptations Forever? Did a neighbor tell you that? Was somebody in the window, Otis? That's what I'm saying, man. I'm starting to question the whole goddamn move. I think Otis. I'm talking about this motherfucker spoke for Barry Gordy. He spoke for Smokey. Why you always on the road? You see what I'm saying? You see how Lamont was a right. Why you always on the road? Thought y'all from Detroit. The fuck? Why you always on the road? You get that from? Where you get Lamont from? You right. You see what I'm saying? But yeah. I just thought about that, man. I don't even know how my man be, man. You brought up sick of sale. Man, I just bust out every person, man. I grew up in Dave Rough Road was Orange Mound. My uncle ended up with that car and everyone in the mound know it. You for real, bro? Stop bullshit. That same white junk. You got to post a picture. You got to send me a picture, then. Come on now. You talking about that white junk that he pulled up with Flim. He pulled up with Flim. That junk right there. He blew his whole chick on. That junk there. How you know Dave Ruffin turned around and shedded a tear? How you know that shit? You wasn't on the other side. Then he had the glass on the side of the road with the mink carpet. I missed it. That's in the movie. Ooh, Ruffin was tough. He was a showman though. I wonder who was serving Ruffin back then though, man. I know you don't be thinking. I wonder what it feel like actually serving one of them people. Do you just look at them like shit they a fiend, or you know what I'm saying? Because I done heard stories of some big celebrities actually, being fucked up. Just like, what I'm saying, somebody in your family is. So, like, could you imagine serving Michael Jackson or Prince, or like, I guess at that point it's just money. You trying to get as much as you can get out the ass. Shit. Really? You ain't looking like, man, you taking the ass down through there. Like, who was serving Whitney? Cause 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 when you dealing in narcotics and shit like that, allegedly for entertainment purposes, you might have a couple people you fuck with, but you ain't getting shit from everybody. You know what I'm saying? You locked in with who you locked in with. You would have to sing every time I served them. Baby. What song? So if he came, what song Ruffin would have to sing? I swear my family has passed away. I can't even get a picture, bro. But the streets know it. It was David Ruffin car I grew up on Tunstall Street. So who could sing better, David Ruffin or Eddie Kendrick? Just like David Ruffin told that man, though, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Otis had one song. It's when he was trying to get his girl. Oh, I know. I think that's what it was. One. Oh, I know. David Ruffin could sing better than Eddie Kendrick. So why was Eddie Kendrick more successful? Why did he have more hit records and shit then? Why do you think that? Do you think it was David Ruffin lifestyle? I'm starting to see though this Eddie Kendrick niggas was a cool character though, man. You know, he was cool in his own right though. I guess when it comes to the Temptations and we look at that movie, he gets overshadowed by David because he had the bigger personality. But it seemed like Eddie Kendricks was the man. I seen it. It said Motown stopped pushing him as well. So you think it was because his feud with the Temptations? I know Patty and someone else got to fighting over Otis. You see, that's what Otis was doing. Otis was coordinating. You know, he was coordinating. Yeah, Otis Williams and the Siberians. The fuck, Otis? What the fuck is that about? Was Eddie side chick too for a long? You see what I'm saying? Eddie side chick. Sam Cooke was like young boy back. I wonder. Then I watched that movie last night again. I remember them highlighting uh Marvin Gaye. I wonder why they didn't, incorporate Marvin Gaye just a little bit more in the movie. Because I was trying to see which one was Marvin Gaye on the bus. I was like, which one of these cats Marvin Gaye? Barry Gordon. They really, they really was pushing Marvin Gaye at the time. You see what I'm saying? Because he was going with the Barry daughter. Soon as I'm looking down, talking about Marvin Gaye, you talking about Marvin Gaye. Which is great. I heard Marvin Gaye was a serial killer. Was a serial killer. Jesus. Not Marv. Not Marvin Gaye. You mean a real killer? Can't mean a real killer. I done went back to my Garcia Vegas. I remember at the how me and my brother playing Sega. Oh, Marvin Gaye was going with younger women. Mm, mm. Then Marvin Gaye, daddy unalive him or something like that. He was unalive, right? Marvin Gaye. Somebody knocked him down. His dad did, right? For like not living the right life. His daddy was a preacher. Ain't that his story or some shit like that? Y'all know what David Ruffin name is in real life? Marvin Gaye. Wow. He had Ruffin girl after David Ruffin split with her. David gave her brain damage. David gave her brain damage. What, he beat her? Damn, damn. Now, they were wild back in the days though. Marvin went in the house trying to fight his father. Ah, he went. He hit her with his motorcycle helmet. I told y'all by the time I hit a motherfucker with the helmet is a weapon. That's why I be tripping sometimes. You don't know. You catch me out there on that bike playing, man, that helmet finna hit your ass so many times. For real, I'm finna put that hand in that motherfucker, man. I'm finna wave it out of control. I'm trying to break your fingers and hand, wrist. Damn, I gotta look into that though. So let me ask y'all this before I get out of there. Out of all of the singles that came up in the 70s, the 60s, and the 80s, I went to that house before. It's still nice. Give me y'all favorite one between the Sam Cooks and like it was a lot of people with that Motown. You had Stevie, you had like Mike. All of them ran that came through Motown though. Give me your top three. Give me your top three. I used a hard hat 2x4 one night. Man, that shit worked. Anything that what my boy say in Eddie Murphy said anything just stop a motherfucker just stop breathing. You know, for real. Anything to get the job done, man. You know, hey, Bobby Womack was a motherfucker. Took Sam Cooke girl and made a song about it. That nigga, that song that was so. And I heard he supposed to fornicated with the daughter as well. He was just a low down ass nigga. Left the mother for the daughter type shit. Bless me, excuse me. Like we talked about that. I did an episode on this shit. When I ran across that song, I said, man, Bobby Womack, a motherfucker, man. Lamont Dozier, the Dramatics, the Spinners, and Lamont Dozier. Man, here got her. This man here ain't come to play. He come to play. I like Billie Holiday because he stood on business. Charlie Wilson, probably my favorite up until this day. And Luther is in this era. Nah, I'm talking about that. I'm talking about them 60s, 70s, and 80s. But Luther was around in the 80s. 60s, 70s, and 80s. I'm really talking about them 60s and 70s though, really though. But we can tap in with the 80s though. David Marvin and Al Green. Why so many people put David up there though? Like, and just going back, he wasn't as big as I thought he was as far as an artist. He was definitely had the most charisma of the Temptations, but solo career was mediocre. Marvin, David, and Memphis on Al Green. Call me, call me. Can we? So let's say if we had a versus, who would win between Al Green and Marvin Gaye, or Al Green and Johnny Taylor? Who say down on blues, down on blues? Who say that song? David had a voice, man. That raspy voice was a motherfucker. He sung from the heart for sure. The Isley Brothers and the Temptations did. Marvin Gaye hands down. Okay, Marvin Gaye. Who sang down on blues? David Ruffin was a crowd pleaser. He made music for the street niggas. Yeah. Hey, I like that David Ruffin though, man. I listened to a David Ruffin song though. Uh, I think it's something that have to do with a man. And when you listen to that joint though, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna break you down. If you in a bad spot, when I first listened to it though, for real, and understood it, I was kind of like in a little bad spot, and I listened to that joint. Damn, you right, Dave, singing from the soul, man. I'm trying to think. I don't know no lyrics to it right now. But True, have you ever met Al Green? Do you know his story? Nah, I ain't never met Al Green. But I know a little bit of his story. I know a little bit of his story. Enlighten me though. I know he a preacher. I thought he was from Mississippi though. Came up in Memphis, but I thought he was from the SIP. That would be some cold verses though. Like them old school verses. Like you just said, the Temptations and the Asleys. Who will win their verses? Was the name of the song I'm in a bad spot? What was the name of the song I'm in a bad spot? Let me see. I'm finna look it up. I ain't gonna play it though. All right. I'm finna tell you what it is. He talking about like the soul of a man. He talking about the soul of a man. It ain't walk away from love. It ain't. It ain't walk away from love. Shit.
Did you know the Walmart app?
I'm gonna tell you what it is, though. Hold up, I'm finna give it to you. If you think you're lonely now, that junk that hard too. Damn it, man. Hold on. My church is in Whitehaven, doors open every Sunday. My child tried to take up with Ray Charles cheating. She said, I mean, he's blind. I'ma finish, just bump the entire Ultimate Collection. It's probably on there. Okay, bet. I'm finna tell you the song, though. He said, bump the entire collection. Hey, David Ruff and Smooth, though. I can't take that from him. Oh, wait. Away from love. It ain't that, done. It ain't that, John. It ain't that, John, though. Don't go home. Statue of a fool. That pieces of a man. I think it might be pieces of a man. Yeah, I think it might be pieces of a man. I just don't want to play it. But when I find that jump for sure, I'm gonna tell you about it. Mr. Gio, what going on? David Ruffin and Eddie Kendricks. It was just my imagination. I'm finna watch this shit when I get up out of here. Yeah, I think it's that. No, Al Green churches in Whitehaven. His doors is open every Sunday. Where is it in the Haven? What's the name of his church? I know I done passed that jump before. I done seen it and everything. But what's the name of it? Man, we just on here talking about some old school before we got off. Man, I hate this time. I wish he didn't trust me, you dirty motherfucker. Yeah, I think it's that junk though, y'all. I think it's Mr. LSU. What going on? Man, we just cool and man. I was trying to find this David Ruffin song. Jimmy Ruffin. Did y'all ever fuck with Jimmy Ruffin? My whole world ended. Yeah, I'm gonna go fuck with some Ruffin. I wish it would rain. David Ruffin rolled by the pole. This junk so pimping around with the windows down, jamming that junk. Shit, yeah. Man, these motherfucking prospects. People calling though. I'm finna jump out of here and man hit these streets though. And I'll most definitely touch bases with y'all a little later. We was talking about little Poppa though. Not sure I go first or you, but I Google it. I want to play some shit though, but I know when I walk away from love, you mess with Jill Scott. Body joint. I ain't heard the new Jill Scott, but the Jill Scott a nigga came up on. I fuck with Jill Scott. She always been cool. Jill Scott always been cool. Been her own, in her own skin. Rest in peace to the Stern. I'm gonna tell you a show I used to listen to coming up though. Howard Stern. Since you brought Stern up, I used to listen to Howard Stern coming up. Howard Stern used to have all type of guests on there, and they used to do all type of bullshit on Howard Stern. But yeah. Working on some shit though. Working on something. I just really wanted to come over here and touch base with little Poppa about little Poppa. Mental health. Like I said, man, check on your people. Often there be signs there, and we just don't, just really look at it like that. But you hearing conflicting stories. Like I said, you hearing some people saying maybe the pill was bad. Then you hearing some people saying this. So regardless of whatever it was, my condolences. Uh, check on your people once again. Uh, yeah, yeah. The MJ story. Like I said, he facing a lot of backlash, but the father spoke out. So hey, that's that. I know I had something else in the thumbnail I want to run by y'all, but I can't think about it right now. Yeah, I said I stepped on Rocket Power. I definitely stepped on Rocket Power. He should be straight. Try to rub my little boy, rub him straight. You know what I'm saying? HP Little Pop, you a six said took us from you more time. Really, rest in peace, Little Pop. You're a you're a sickle. You a sickle cell took us from Motown. Took us from took us from you to Motown. You're really a legend. Most definitely though. Just thought about that, man. Rest in peace to Lil Papa. Rest in peace to Paul. You know what I'm saying? And I also, before I get off here, watching the Temptation. Paul was that nigga. The Temptations didn't get that flair and that style to Paul came there. Remember, Paul said, "Man, y'all just standing there, just doing it." Paul said, you seen what Paul said. Paul said, "We gotta get the moving." Boy, just standing there doing this. Shoot, we need an intro and outro because you jump out line so fast. Shoot, we need an intro and outro because you jump out line so fast. I do on it, bro. I say, all right, y'all, I'm finna get up out there, motherfucker. Go hit that bitch. I go hit that bitch. Paul had the moves and the voice. Oh, mama. That's what got them signed. Paul wasn't, I'm not gonna be a fool no more. It was Paul. You don't understand. It was Paul and Eddie. It wasn't Otis. It wasn't no damn Otis. I'm not gonna be a fool no more. It was Paul. It was Paul got them folks signed. Paul came in there with them motherfucking moves, with their voice, and you know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. So really, Otis should have done a little. He should have did right back, a little right back Paul though, man. Like Eddie said, man, you think we would have got signed without Paul? Everyone know it wasn't Otis. David didn't tell a lie. Paul had to move his dancing hair. Yeah, Paul had to move. Paul had the motherfucker. David told no lie. Ain't nobody came to see you, Otis. Ain't nobody came to see you, Otis. For real, for real. Otis coordinating this shit though, but you can't take it from Otis. Otis was the coordinator. Otis had the vision though. Otis had the vision, and without Otis, there would be no temptation though. We can't take that from Otis. Paul even came up with the name from what it seemed. It got to be something sexy. It got to be, Paul blessed them folks. Paul blessed them folks though. Man, that's the thing I had to realize too. Them folks wasn't writing shit. They ain't write a bitch. It went from Barry to Smokey to the other dude. Get off line like you escaping to a crap grind. Yeah, man. I just be having to when it's time, man. I don't be thinking about this shit. When it's time. I just go ahead like you said. Jump off that motherfucker, man. Just jump off that motherfucker, man. Yeah, Ola was just there collecting checks. Collecting checks. Making sure you find that motherfucker. What you gonna find me 50 Cent Otis? You know what I'm saying? Otis was just there collecting checks. You know. That'll kick your ass out though. But man, y'all be smooth. I'm gonna play a little Big True Day to get on up out of here. Maybe I can play a little. Let me play one of my little joints. That's all. That's all I got. Let me play one of the old joints, man. Y'all bro with me. Otis was the boss. It was his show from the beginning. He definitely was the boss, though. Otis definitely was the boss. We can't take that from O. You can't take that from. You can't take that from O. I like this joint. My old joint. It's the outro.
From the back, I'm phenomenal. Her face expresses guilt. I got bitches that love me,
Shoot it.
but I am not ugly. From the back, I'm phenomenal. Her face expresses guilt. Fuck on my home regular. I had to come home to a schedule. Had to give me some decimals. Trying to rock a festival. I'ma give me a million. All I got is my word and my testament. I'm a fucking professional. How to get unconventional. Never put dirt on no nigga name. And how we living is a dirty game. Can't think of no statements I never told. Niggas left me on stuck, I just wipe my nose. They flipping the same pack. How you put me a hoe on the main track? All in the hood with the brains, man. Face on the shirt out of range. Trying to be cool, I just got out. But these niggas so slick at the mouth. I know the thoughts on the real. Too much sauce, get you killed. What you know about a shootout? When you only one with the strap. Still got a foot in the street. But I'm focused on rap. Still got a foot in the street. This the night you get your clap. Going hard for the hood. To my section on the map. Can't go to the shoe store.
You don't even fuck with me.
Coming soon is a new toy. I just might fuck on the blue boy.
Shoot it.
Down and I never.
On that nigga pack with the devil.
Tryna get rich from cover with shovel. It's gonna be your life when it comes to this bevel. I'm a rock star, I don't keep every metal. Her pussy so good, she gon' need a medal. A whole lot of smoke, got my foot on the pedal. I just wake up and I get on my level. I'm a rock star, I don't keep every metal. Her pussy so good, she gon' need a medal. A whole lot of smoke, got my foot on the pedal. I just wake up and I get on my level.
Park. Get over with y'all.
Dinners for the week: ribeye steaks, drumsticks, and pescatarian.